Good afternoon. It is now 12 o'clock on this summer Friday, and the weather really is heating up today. We want to make sure you keep that in mind if you happen to be heading out to the Indiana State Fair. That's where Emily Longnecker is right now. She's live at the fairgrounds, and also she's catching up with a guest, our governor, Emily.
Yeah. And we're in the swine barn here, Governor Braun and I, and also the president of the Indiana Farm Bureau, Randy Crone. Governor, you just had a tour of the taste of Indiana, all the things that you can find on Indiana farms that are good to eat. This is your first fair as governor. What's your favorite here?
Well, I did it as a senator, so I know what I was getting in for. So I had to have 3 cups of chocolate milk made from some of our dairy farms. That was tough to do.
Of course.
And then you're going to see all kinds of stuff from apple products. There was some, what would we call it? Carrots, real carrots. And then we had some sheep, kind of like bologna or something, are really good.
Randy, let me ask you, if I'm a visitor coming here for the first time, what shouldn't I miss in this Taste of Indiana and even in the swine barn? There's a lot of sights and sounds and smells.
I would suggest to come to the Farm Bureau building here for today through Sunday, 11 to 6, we'll have the Taste from Indiana Farms. And it lets consumers learn just a little bit about agriculture. Like there's 60,000 tanker loads of milk produced in Indiana every year. There's 4,000 acres of apples. We're number 1 or 2 depending on the year in popcorn. So you can learn about agriculture and where your food comes from.
Governor, were you learning some of those stats today, or this stuff you already knew?
I got a little bag of popcorn, and now that he mentions it. So since I live on a farm and have been really associated with the farming community, I see new things every time I come. And it's amazing in markets that are as tough as farming markets are. You got to be resourceful on finding new ways to sell your product, and this is going to be where it's showcased. So
listen, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you another new topic that's kind of come up recently. The vice president was in town.
Yep.
You said you talked about redistricting. What are your plans or thoughts on redistricting here in Indiana?
So he wanted to discuss that with me, the Speaker of the House, and the President of the Senate, pro tem, and we had a good conversation. So you can see that's happening around the country. The discussion's been out there up front and on a large scale in Texas. So I think for us, we want to make sure it makes sense and our legislature is bought into it. So
I mean, earlier this week you said you'd made no commitments around it. Has that changed?
We really didn't, because we think it's important to get out there and discuss it with the legislators, and that's what the Speaker and the President of the Senate's going to do, and we'll do that over the next few weeks. And they're okay with that because they want to make sure that if there are questions, they can answer them, and that it's going to get broad-based support.
So you're saying at this point nothing is set in stone?
Not at this point.
So former Governor Mitch Daniels, I don't know, he wrote an op-ed in Politico. I don't know if you saw it.
I heard what he said, and I think generally the thing I pointed out since the other side of the aisle is making a big issue of it, they have gerrymandered their states so much that they can't do it anymore, and that's why they're upset. Yes, this is not in the normal context of doing it right after a census, but then it does put you behind when they've done it, so it's a little hypocritical to come out like that. So Mitch's point, I think, is that he thinks, well, you do that, it'll just be a pushback where you're not really gaining any ground. That'd be different, and I disagree with him, because I think the other side of the aisle has done it in a more calculated way over time.
But not just Democrats. I mean, we've talked to some voters who are concerned that their voices could be silenced at the ballot box if this redistricting happens.
And then it could make more districts competitive to where they've got a chance to maybe be competitive in them. So there are pros and cons to everything. I'm going to be mostly interested to see if there's broad-based support among our own legislature, and then go from there.
Why is this topic even coming up, though? I mean, we've got a lot of things that Hoosiers are concerned about, the economy, Medicaid.
That doesn't mean not all those aren't getting attended to as well. This is on the political side of the ledger. That comes up both sides of the aisle off and on, and this just happens to be the one we're dealing with now.
Even though the Constitution says, what, every 10 years, though, after the census, so I think people...
But it doesn't say you can only do that, and if the other side has done it in a way that's been more intensive, that is what is probably motivating especially in Texas, which is the biggest conservative state, to take a look at it.
I guess some people, though, have been saying to us, why now? We already have 7 Republican congressional seats. You want another one?
Those are all valid pros and cons to it. We'll see what happens.
Governor Braun, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Krohn, thank you so much. Happy fair, happy swine barn. So again, Governor Braun talking about his tour on the Taste of Indiana, all of the things that you can see here at the Indiana State Fair, and also checking in with us about the question of redistricting. The governor said at this point no commitments have been made. And we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Emily Longnecker reporting live for us today. Thank you so much. Now,